Morning, everyone. Weather a bit blustery today, so not great for filming in the veg patch. So I thought I'd perhaps just give you a quick update on the dahlia cuttings for those interested in dahlias. This is the second lot. The first lot I did were really quite dry. I put them on the heated propagator and I put them in a sunny window, and they pretty much immediately keeled over and wilted and took only about 3 days to completely die. So I looked again at all the advice, and here I've done pretty much the opposite, which is make them really quite wet. One of the blogs mentioned drenching. I thought they'd be way too wet. Didn't put them on the heat and have put them here on my desk, which has good natural light but not direct sunlight, so they don't get too hot to wilt them. They had the propagator hood on to keep the humidity, because I think as well as being wet around the stems, the humidity is what really counts to the foliage. And as you can see, I have some success. I tried a little bit of experimentation, albeit on a very small sample. So I took 3 different varieties. Within each variety, I tried some in the terracotta and some in the plastic pots. And then within that, again, I did some with hormone rooting compound and some without. And it seems to be that they have fared better in the plastic. That's perhaps because it does still keep them damper, which is completely contrary to my experience with doing things like salvias. They don't seem to need the hormone rooting compound. Actually, 3 out of the 4 of these that have appear to be growing were not with the hormone rooting compound. And they haven't seemed to need heat, although it's quite late in the year I'm doing these now. And as they're indoors, they've got nice even day and night temperature. And it may be that if you do them much earlier in the year, you might need the bottom heat, but keep them really quite moist and quite nice and humid. So I'm quite pleased in the sense this represents my first ever success with doing dahlia cuttings, but I have to say I slightly prefer the method I have been using to propagate them, which is take the whole tuber before it comes into growth, before it's potted up in the spring, hack it to bits with a bread knife, pot up the different bits, and amazingly they all seem to grow. But anyway, a little bit of success, and hope to be back next week with more veg patch update. Have a good weekend.